Two people, same job, same $5,000 monthly paycheck. 10 years later, one is on a beach in Bali, the other is drowning in debt, stressing about the next electric bill. They got the exact same amount of money. The difference? It's not luck, it's not connections, it's what they did with that money before they spent it. Welcome to the reality check, the fundamental law, spending power versus building material. The moment that $5,000 hits their bank account, a microsecond decision happens. This decision, repeated thousands of times, is what creates wealth or poverty. It's not luck, it's geometry. Let's look at how Sarah sees that money. For Sarah, $5,000 represents spending power. When she sees that deposit, her brain immediately starts a mental shopping list. Okay, I can finally get that new jacket. I can upgrade my TV. We can afford that nicer apartment now. She sees money as a resource to be used up. It's fuel for her current lifestyle. In Sarah's mind, money flows in and then it flows out, exchanging itself for comfort and status. Now, let's look at David. For David, $5,000 represents building material. He doesn't see dollars, he sees seeds. He knows that every dollar he spends on something temporary is a seed he just ate instead of planting. His goal is not to have a nice life today. His goal is to have a nice life forever. When the money flows in, his first thought isn't, what can I buy? It's, how can I deploy this to make more money? This is the fundamental law, and it leads us directly into the biggest lie of modern life: lifestyle creep, the trap of the middle class, lifestyle creep and doodads. Lifestyle creep, or lifestyle inflation, is the silent killer of wealth, and Sarah is its favorite victim. Let's trace Sarah's financial habits over the last 2 years. When Sarah was earning $3,000 a month, she lived in a small $1,000 apartment. She packed her lunch. She had a 5-year-old car that worked perfectly. Then she got that big raise to $5,000. She felt rich. The very next week, her brain started creeping. She thought, I make $5,000 now. I shouldn't be living in this tiny apartment. I deserve better. So she moves into a nicer place. Now her rent is $1,800. She thinks, I have a good job. I shouldn't be driving this old car. What if it breaks down? I need something reliable. But instead of buying a reliable used car, she finances a brand new $35,000 SUV. Suddenly, she has a $600 per month payment, plus her insurance goes up another $150. Sarah is now caught in the doodad trap. A doodad, a term popularized by authors like Robert Kiyosaki, is something that takes money out of your pocket and simultaneously loses value. Her new car is a massive doodad. She pays $750 per month, payment plus insurance, for something that is losing 10 to 15% of its value every single year. She buys designer bags, losing value. She subscribes to 5 different streaming services, losing value. She eats out for lunch every single day, gone forever. To the outside world, Sarah looks successful. She has the new car, the nice apartment, the stylish clothes, but she is financially fragile. By the 25th of every month, she is checking her account balance nervously. Sarah is trading her future freedom for the temporary feeling of richness today. This creeping feeling is powerful, and we've all felt it. When you get that extra money, is your first instinct to buy something new you can now afford or to save it? If your first thought is usually, yes, finally I can get that jacket, I want you to comment the word creep. Be honest. If your first thought is, okay, this goes into my savings, comment the word build. This is your first step to awareness, the power of paying yourself. First, and busting the myth of investing. Now, let's follow David. David sees that same $5,000 deposit, and before lifestyle creep can even say hello, David does one simple thing that Sarah never does. He employs the most important financial habit of all. He pays himself first. While Sarah is busy paying the landlord, the car dealer, and the coffee shop, David pays David. The moment the money arrives, an automatic transfer pulls 20%, $1,000 out and sends it to a separate account. This money doesn't exist for David's current expenses. He never sees it, so he doesn't miss it. What does he do with it? He puts this money into assets. An asset is the opposite of a doodad. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket and ideally increases in value. David drives the same car Sarah had before she upgraded. He lives in a modest apartment, similar to the one Sarah left. He has no car payment. He has no credit card debt. Sarah thinks he's being cheap, but David knows better. With his $1,000 a month, David starts investing. And here's where we need to bust a myth. Sarah thinks investing is for rich people. She thinks you need $50,000 or a finance degree. This is a massive mistake that keeps people poor. Investing today is absurdly simple. It's just giving your soldier dollars a job. Instead of buying a $700 doodad, David takes that money and buys a single share of a low-cost index fund. This one fund, like one that tracks the S&P 500, makes him a tiny owner of the 500 biggest, most powerful companies in the United States. While David sleeps, the smartest CEOs are working to make his $1,000 richer. For the first year, again, not much changes visually. Sarah is driving her nice new SUV and feels great. David has $12,000 in his investment account. He looks like he's losing, but David knows a secret that is about to change his life forever. The magic of the snowball, compound interest. This is the moment the paths don't just split, they explode apart. This is the moment the physics of finance kicks in. This is the snowball effect, compound interest. Fast forward 10 years. Both Sarah and David are now 10 years older. They both still make that $5,000 salary. Let's assume for simplicity, it stayed the same. Let's look at Sarah. Her first car financing ended, and guess what? The car was old, so she did it again. She took another car loan for $30,000. She's been paying $600 per month for cars for 10 years straight. She has spent over $72,000 on cars that are now worth maybe $18,000 combined. That is $54,000 lost. Plus interest. Her apartment rent has increased every year. She is now worse off than when she started because everything is more expensive and her debt load is higher. Now, let's look at David. Remember that $1,000 a month he boringly invested? After 10 years, he has invested $120,000 of his own money. This is where the magic happens. His money did not just sit in a bank, it was invested in the index fund. Let's use a historical average return of 10%. This means his money was growing. After 10 years, that $120,000 is now over $200,000. That means $80,000 of that is free money. David never worked a single hour for that $80,000. His money worked for him. It was a snowball that started small but kept collecting more and more snow. This is why David has a rental property. He used a chunk of that $200,000 as a down payment. This is why David is calm. His assets, the index fund and now the property, are putting an additional $600 per month into his pocket on top of his salary. Sarah's doodads cost her $750 per month. David's assets pay him $600 per month. Sarah and David have the same salary, but they are living in completely different economies. Sarah is trapped. David is free. The clear, 4-step blueprint to become a David Tack consumer. Debt. If you have credit card debt or a personal loan at 15 to 20% interest, this is not a financial situation. It is a financial emergency. You are pouring gasoline on your income and lighting it on fire. Your entire financial goal must be to pay this off first. Automate your payments. Do not trust yourself to save what's left at the end of the month. Nothing is ever left. Set an automatic transfer, even if it's $50. Just get the habit of paying yourself first. Buy assets, not status. Every single purchase, ask yourself, is this putting money in my pocket or taking it out? A car financing is not an investment. It is an expense. A nicer TV is not an asset. It is a doodad. Focus on buying things that grow, not things that rust. Embrace the boring. Investing isn't gambling on crypto or a hot stock tip. Investing is boring. You consistently buy a low-cost index fund like VOO, SPY, or VTI, and you leave it alone for 10, 20, 30 years. That's it. That's the entire secret. Consistency is the magic. The story of Sarah and David isn't about rich versus poor. It's about mindset versus mindset. Your salary is not your wealth. Your salary is just a tool. It is a very powerful shovel. But if you use that shovel to dig a deeper hole of debt, or if you use that shovel to plant trees that will feed you for life, that choice is entirely yours. Stop waiting for a raise. Stop waiting for the lottery. Start managing the money you have today. Learn the simple lesson that Sarah refused to learn. True wealth is not about looking rich. It's about having the freedom to own your time. Thanks for watching, and go plant those seeds.